Mr. Rushing, tell me what you were doing the day you were arrested and what the early part of your day was. Lead me in.
Well, I have a friend who's got stage 4 cancer of the spine. So every Friday I take him to his chemotherapy, and then I usually, that's on Gore, not too far from the gym, which I've been working out at for 30 years, over 30 years. So while he takes about an hour and a half, I go to the gym, work out, then he calls me to come pick him up. Well, that's every Friday at 1 that it happens. Well, this particular day, the doctor was leaving early, so he said, come in at 12. Well, I have a friend that works really close to the gym and then has to walk home 2 miles when they get off at 12. So after I dropped him off, I picked them up, was headed to their house when the police stopped us.
What happened when the police stopped you?
I said, hi, did I do something wrong? And they went, well, you know, when you were coming out of the 7-Eleven there, you didn't really come to a full stop. And I went, to myself, I went, Friday afternoon, lunchtime, Highway 50, just going to pull out without, no. So I said, okay. And they said, well, I said, you're going to give me a ticket? And they said, well, would you mind if we search your car? And I said, well, if you don't give me a ticket, sure, you can search the car. Because, you know, I didn't have anything to hide. So I figured I'd get out of a ticket. You know, they take 5 minutes, search the car, and I'd be done. So about 15 minutes later, they're still doing it. And I looked at my friend, I said, do you know what's going on? No. So they came back and they went, you got anything in your car you want to tell us about? I said, no, there's nothing in there that's interesting at all. No, what do you mean? And they said, nothing in the car that's illegal. You know, I've never done drugs in my life. I've never even smoked pot once. What are you talking about? So they got 4 little pieces, which every other Wednesday I get a glazed donut from Krispy Kreme. They found 4 little pieces of icing on the floorboard, which I'm kind of embarrassed about because I should have, you know, vacuumed the car better. But first they tried to say it was crack cocaine. And then they said, no, it's not crack, it's methamphetamines. I went, it's icing from a donut. And they said, no, it's methamphetamines. And I said, you are so wrong. And they said, well, you know, we're willing to work with you if you're willing to work with us, because we've had a lot of drug sales over there in that little area. And I said, well, I don't know anything about anything. They said, okay, well, then you need to go ahead and put your hands behind your back and we're going to read you your rights. I said, okay. They searched my friend. They were embarrassed. You know, my friend that was having the chemo, he was stuck. He had to wait a few hours there for somebody to finally come pick him up. And I got taken down to 33rd Street, strip searched. Now, because of my back, my spine injury, I have to take some pretty heavy-duty meds. So when I came in, they said, are you taking anything that you could go into withdrawals from if you don't have it? I said, absolutely. I told them about my situation and what I took, and they said, okay. This was about maybe 1:30, and I had my meds at 9. I was supposed to have them again at 3. So about 5, you know, I'm still sitting over there in the corner. I went over and I told the medical guy, I said, sir, like I told you, I'm going through withdrawals now. I'm having some real severe pain in my back. And he said, well, you need to go over there and sit down because you're not supposed to be over here. And if you don't leave us alone, we're going to put you in the back where you don't want to be. So, okay. So I sat until about 10, and then they took us upstairs. Now I have an implant in my back, and I'm not supposed to go through a metal detector. So we got up there. I said, sir, I did. Then I waited about an hour and a half, and they finally called me, and they said, you've been on bond.
Police mistook donut glaze for meth. arrested and strip-searched 6'5" man. Taxpayers held liable. After an innocent man was kidnapped, caged, and strip-searched for donut glaze, the taxpayers are being held liable, not the cops who did this to him. By Matt Agarist, October 16, 2017. Orlando, Florida. Thanks to the highly flawed means of testing for drugs and incompetent armed agents of the state enforcing immoral drug laws, a man's donut got him arrested, strip-searched, thrown in a cage and charged with drug possession. Now, however, instead of the cops being held responsible for negligently mistaking donut glaze for meth, the taxpayers are being charged. Daniel Rushing was just awarded $37,500 for his kidnapping and abuse at the hands of negligent cops and their continued use of faulty field drug test kits. In fact, tens of thousands have been convicted and served time, even earning the black mark of a felony for crimes they likely didn't commit, according to a report, because the cases against them relied on horribly unreliable field drug test kits. So prone to errors are the tests, courts won't allow their submission as evidence. However, their continued use by law enforcement, coupled with a 90% rate at which drug cases are resolved through equally dubious plea deals, needlessly ruins thousands of lives. Daniel Rushing, 65, is one of these people. As TFTP reported, in December of 2015, Rushing was bringing his friend to his weekly chemotherapy session when he was stopped by police for the alleged crime of not stopping all the way before pulling out of a gas station. Advertisement. This routine revenue-generating stop would quickly descend into a nightmare after this highly trained police officer would see the crumbs of a Krispy Kreme donut on Rushing's floorboard. The officer, Corporal Shelby Riggs Hopkins, spotted a rock-like substance on the floorboard where his feet were, she wrote, according to a report in the Orlando Sentinel. Read more. Cop who shot 12-year-old was fired from previous job as a cop for being emotionally unstable. Her professional training that has taught her how to identify all the substances deemed illegal by the state immediately set off alarms. I recognized through my 11 years of training and experience as a law enforcement officer the substance to be some sort of narcotic, she wrote. Rushing, who is a concealed carry permit holder, told the officer that there was a weapon in the car. Luckily he was not shot. However, he was asked to step out of the car and then the officer asked to search his vehicle. Rushing, knowing that he had nothing to hide, agreed to the search. Even though Rushing had nothing to hide, he should have never agreed to a search, as this is rule number 1 when dealing with police during a traffic stop. After the fact, however, Rushing realized his mistake in allowing the officer to rummage through his car. I didn't have anything to hide, he said. I'll never let anyone search my car again. Riggs Hopkins and other officers spotted 3 other pieces of the suspicious substance in his car, according to the report. I kept telling them, that's glaze from a donut. They tried to say it was crack cocaine at first, then they said, no, it's meth, crystal meth. The arrest report even noted Rushing pleaded with officers to tell them it was donut crumbs. However, they just knew that this 65-year-old man, with no criminal record, was some drug kingpin transporting meth by dropping tiny bits of it on his carpet. Rushing stated that the substance is sugar from a Krispy Kreme donut that he ate, Riggs Hopkins wrote. Read more. Watch, Congressman asks a question about weed and accidentally exposes tyrannical drug war. Officers then tested the Krispy Kreme crumbs with their criminally unreliable field test kits and received not 1 but 2 positive results. As the Free Thought Project has previously reported, the director of a lab recognized by the International Association of Chiefs of Police for Forensic Science Excellence has called field drug testing kits totally useless due to the possibility of false positives. In laboratory experiments, at least 2 brands of field testing kits have been shown to produce false positives in tests of Mucinex, chocolate, aspirin, chocolate, and oregano. Some of these kits even return a positive when completely empty. According to the Orlando Sentinel, Riggs Hopkins booked him into the county jail on a charge of possession of methamphetamine with a firearm. He was locked up for about 10 hours before his release on $2,500 bond, he said. I got arrested for no reason at all, he said. After being kidnapped and caged because of the incompetence of police officers and the brutal drug war, Rushing sued, and as TFTP predicted last year, the taxpayers will be held accountable, not the police officers. For kidnapping and caging an innocent man, Corporal Shelby Riggs Hopkins was given a written reprimand in her record, a laughable punishment for depriving an innocent man of his freedom. When asked how many other roadside drug tests have produced false positive results by the Orlando Sentinel, an OPD spokeswoman wrote, "At this time, we have no responsive records. There is no mechanism in place for easily tracking the number of, or results of, field drug testing." Read more. Government's own data finally admits magic mushrooms and LSD can stifle opioid addiction. As police across the U.S. scramble to push the war on cops narrative and note that only criminals dislike the police, thousands of cases like this one play out every year. Instead of rectifying a broken system, the overwhelming majority of police and politicians ignore the problems created by the war on drugs and choose to increase force instead. Until we bring an end to the war on drugs, innocent people like Bernstein and Cruz will continue to be targeted and continue to be kidnapped, caged, or killed for no other reason than cops looking for arbitrary substances. Next time someone says, "If you don't break the law, you have nothing to fear," show them this incident which completely destroys that dangerously ignorant narrative.
Need a car? Don't forget to stop by carmarshal.com, where you can scout through over 100,000 new and used car vehicles. Take a look around. Get you a new affordable car. carmarshal.com.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts. 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, what, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself. 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, We have cell phones. We have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So, if you can give more than that, that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not. They're just not. So, anyways, if you can give more than that, that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now. Where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran on, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran on no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.